I truly believe that all of us can get into the relationship we want. And what inspires that thought is how I met my husband Siddharth. And I'd let Siddharth tell you that story.
So we were at this party, and I noticed that there was a platter of cheese on one of the tables. And so I walked up to this platter and I started helping myself to the cheese, and I noticed that there was blue cheese out there, which is this stinky, pungent cheese. And I really love that blue cheese. So I had a few bites and I said, wow, this cheese is just delicious. And then Simran, she took over from there.
Yeah, I love blue cheese too, and that was our big bonding experience. And I'd just come back from a holiday from Turkey, so we started talking about that. And I told Siddharth how I'd would love to try out some Turkish dishes myself, to cook them. And then, he very conveniently slipped in, hey, why don't you make something for me? And I'm like, sure, why not? And, an hour had passed by, and we didn't even know each other's name, actually.
That's true. So the conversation just flowed very, very naturally. We had great chemistry. Our conversation was a lot of fun. There was a little bit of, chemistry that indicated there was flirting. And that's when I said, hey, why don't I just be bold and invite myself over for a meal to her place. So I said, hey, since you're this gourmet cook and you picked up some dishes from Turkey, why don't you have me over for dinner? So cut to today, 10 years have gone by. We, from that evening, we're now happily married. We have a 9-year-old. And, while people think that there's, it's very complicated to figure out how to meet your soulmate, I think it's as simple as ABC. So, Simran, what do you think, in your opinion, are the ABCs for a woman to meet her soulmate?
They're actually really simple. They are authentic for A, benevolence for B, and confidence. And I think that evening, all of these three existed for me because I was authentic. I was having that stinky cheese. I was unapologetic about it. I was benevolent because when you said, hey, why don't you cook for me? I said, I will. And I invited you over, which means I was confident. I was living alone. I was willing to have a man that I just met and I connected with and I was having a great time with to my house. So I think all these three happened that evening for me. And what about you? What are the ABCs for men?
See, I think authenticity, absolutely. Without authenticity, whether you're male or female, things are just not going to work. I really love this cheese again. I love cheese in general. And again, unapologetically, I was helping myself to copious amounts of this cheese, right? Yeah. The other thing that I think all men need to do, the B, is to be bold. I wasn't intimidated. I wasn't hesitating. I just, went for the cheese. And then it so happened that there was a cute girl over there and, the C is to close. And I closed it. I invited myself over through that conversation for a meal. And one thing led to another. And here we are. Not only have we been married 10 years, but we've also co-founded Flow.
Yeah. And we want all of you to be in a relationship like that. And it's really that simple. There is a lot of complicated stuff that people have written or advised, but I really think it comes down to the basic, and all great things are achieved with simplicity, and this is one of them. So try these things, tell us your story, and write back to us.
Looking forward to hearing from you.